Are those midgets? Because it's people over them, like it's people trying to hide what they're doing.
Adults who are little people, or are you talking about minors?
Seeing Diddy Combs, a figure renowned for his impact on music, fame, and immense success, is now embroiled in one of Hollywood's most unsettling and shocking controversies.
So like, are those midgets? Because it's people over them, like it's people trying to hide what they're doing.
Adults who are little people, or are you talking about minors?
Am I going to get sure? I don't want to say I witnessed any of that crazy stuff, but we all have common sense. Little people. It's not supposed to be there.
We're talking about underage people.
Listen.
But the most shocking revelation, a claim that minors were present at these infamous parties dressed provocatively as Harajuku Barbies surrounded by a wall of adults intent on keeping their activities hidden from prying eyes.
It was very hard for her to say it, actually. So what she said was that she was flown out from LA to Miami by the Saudi prince. And they ended up eventually on Star Island at one of these parties. She says, among many other things, I mean, she goes into the details. She says it happened in 2018. She says that she walked into the house and there was a cluster of adults around what she described as little people. And they were dressed up as Japanese Barbies. I forgot the character something. You can help me out here. Anyway,
I don't know the names. I've forgotten it. But go ahead.
So she explained that they were just clustered around these little people, and I kept pushing her, and she eventually said, "Look, they are little people who should not be at an adult party." And I pushed her, and it was apparent what she was saying is they were minors. Now, she didn't see anything specific that was going on with them, other than that adults were kind of huddled around.
This is far from an ordinary Hollywood scandal. It delves into darker, more unsettling territory, carrying implications that could unveil a decades-long network. Rumors of Diddy's so-called freak-offs began circulating well before his recent arrest. These gatherings, often referred to as exclusive playgrounds for the wealthy and notorious, were infamous for their indulgence, extravagance, and tight-lipped secrecy. However, the revelations that have come to light reveal a far more chilling reality than anyone could have anticipated.
He used to use condoms. And then at the end of the day, or he picked somebody up, or he going to Kim, or whatever like that, he'd be like, yo, y'all got any condoms? So I was one of those dudes, I used to keep condoms in my truck for him. Because we never knew when this dude was gonna say, yo, I need a condom. And then you could be getting off of work, and he could have company and everything like that, and he'll say, yo, I need condoms. So we used to keep boxes of condoms for him. That was our boss. I used to get them from the state because we had to get them for the inmates. So, we go to visit the inmates and stuff like that, and they be like, yo, I don't use them. Keep them in the truck. Puffer use them. But security used to have to give condoms for him. So I understood what people might say he liked baby oil. They kept baby oil in the household.
In the world of fame, few names carry the weight of influence like seeing Diddy Combs, a mogul whose legacy stretches across music, fashion, and culture. However, beneath the dazzling facade of wealth and success lies a darker narrative, one tied to Diddy's controversial Harajuku Barbie persona and troubling allegations of exploitation.
This woman here, is she really saying that there were minors involved in these freak-offs?
That is exactly what she's saying, Joey. Now, as to what they were doing, she never really could get a clean look at it. Said there was a wall of adults encircling them who clearly didn't want everyone at the party to see what was happening there. She said when she saw this scene with the younger people, that it was about 7 a.m. and the party was going all night.
Did anyone ask her why did she leave and what was she doing?
She was there as the guest of a Saudi prince. why she didn't leave. I don't know what time she left. I agree with that. Once you see something like she was describing, that's the time you tip out the door.
Or call the FBI.
Or call the FBI, exactly. But, you know, that's the other thing that we've heard from a lot of people that are involved in parties with Diddy, that there are NDAs that are signed, and you walk out and you feel like, I can't say anything going.
The Harajuku Barbies, a striking feature of Diddy's creative world, were originally seen as symbols of female empowerment and daring fashion. Yet, behind the glimmering lights, whispers of manipulation and control began to surface. Some of the models who initially joined as admirers found themselves entangled in the harsh realities of fame, enduring the relentless pressures and exploitation often hidden within the industry.
Steph, thank you. We are following breaking news right now related to music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Major new allegations today of sexual assault and exploitation by Combs. The first time we are hearing about victims who say they were minors when they were allegedly assaulted by the music star. The youngest allegedly just 9 years old. The allegations were revealed today by attorneys representing more than 100 alleged victims who are preparing to sue. So let's bring in NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas right now. So Chloe, we know there is currently a press conference underway. We do have a live picture of that. Can you just walk us through these new allegations and tell us if we've heard from Combs yet?
So the individual that you see on the screen right now, that is an attorney based out of Houston, Texas, and his name is Tony Busby. He's been a part of some very well-known litigation over the years involving a BP oil spill, even involving the Astroworld Music Festival crisis where some individuals were killed during a stampede. So he has made headlines before, but this is pretty shocking. So he claims is claiming right now at this press conference that he has had over 3,000 individuals reach out to his law firm in Houston, Texas. He and his team have been vetting these claims, that now they are representing over 120 accusers, and that over the next 30 days they will begin to file different civil suits. That this is not a class action lawsuit, that they are going to continue to vet these allegations, but right now they feel strong about these. So he also said today that it's not just Combs that will be named as a defendant. There will be other high-profile individuals, some household names. He says, quote, many powerful people, there are many dirty secrets.
The accusations against Diddy extend far beyond these disturbing claims. His arrest in September on federal sex charges unleashed a torrent of additional lawsuits, each revealing allegations more shocking and harrowing than the last.
Civil lawsuits accuse the hip-hop mogul of horrific sexual assault. One case against a 10-year-old boy. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Petrisky here with the details. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. Sean Combs is already fighting multiple sexist allegations, each one more disturbing than the next. His latest accuser says he was 10 years old at the time. This morning, a California man alleges he was 10 years old when Sean Combs sexually assaulted him during a 2005 visit to New York. He was trying to break into the music industry, and a civil lawsuit says his parents left him with a consultant who brought him to meet Combs. The lawsuit says Combs complimented plaintiff on his rapping and told plaintiff that he could make him a star. Then the lawsuit says Combs abruptly pushed plaintiff down and said words to the effect of, "You have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes," before forcing him to perform a sex act. Diddy's legal team said the lawyer behind this lawsuit is interested in media attention rather than the truth, and repeated that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. In another new civil lawsuit, a man alleges he was 17 and auditioning for Making the Band when Combs assaulted him under the guise of questioning how he would handle situations involving sexual pressure. Combs denied this claim.
These allegations are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger, disturbing pattern of alleged abuse, manipulation, and exploitation that went unchecked for years. Protected by Diddy's vast wealth, influence, and an entertainment industry that turned a blind eye, these actions were allowed to continue.
In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-off. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way.
The allegations surrounding the Harajuku Barbies prompt troubling questions. How many others were aware of these parties yet chose to remain silent? And if minors were truly involved, who was responsible for facilitating their participation?
You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, and he had a house, and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro.
In Hollywood, scandals are often part of the scene, but this situation stands apart. A leaf list, reportedly compiled by Diddy and connected to his notorious Harajuku Barbie assistant, has surfaced. The list allegedly exposes a shocking roster of celebrities implicated in disturbing activities involving minors.
You mentioned you're going to name names in these lawsuits. Will there be celebrity names?
I expect so, yes.
As of now, do you have celebrity names?
I do.
Do you also have corporations?
I do.
What will be the reaction, you believe, when these names come out?
I think people are going to be shocked. I mean, I think people already are suspecting some of the names that you might see. I think some of them will be shocking, though. And, you know, let's not forget that a lot of these parties, whether it be after parties, white parties, whatever the parties were, these were well known. A lot of people really were jockeying to go to these parties. These were parties where a lot of well-known people attended. And you know, so there's venues involved, hotels involved. I think that there will be individuals who had parties at their residences that you'll know, people that attended the parties that watched some of this behavior occur and stood by and let it happen.
Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her? It's something fishy about that, bro. Because you gotta realize this lawsuit and the information they had and they gave the Diddy people was 6 months ago. So some of that stuff was cut out. Okay, we're gonna give you this, but you gotta cut this part out. Let's just say allegedly, or just for the sake of it, Cassie wasn't the only one who wanted, or she didn't want it, but Cassie, who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black, not only for herself, but for somebody else who we all know that was in the room with her. So if he want to see it and he want her to touch it, he might, that other person in the room with her just might want to feel it.
The leaked fragments of this alleged list are as chilling as they are damning. It reportedly links A-list stars, high-ranking executives, and even influential politicians to accusations that could not only destroy careers but also dismantle entire institutions. The most shocking revelation. Sources suggest that Diddy was aware of this list from the start and may have used it as a tool to protect his empire.
He better hope that they want to make a deal, but I don't think so, or they want somebody else. He better hope, and he got something to offer them. Even if he got something to offer him, you got to realize, bruh, like, you got kingpins, you got people who make deals, there's murders and killers. They make a deal and they still get 25, 30 years in the feds. He's about 55 years old. If he do 15 years, that's 70 years. When he come out, he's 70 years old. He may not want to live like that. And then what he coming out to at 70 years old? He'll still have probably a little money to do something, but not to do nothing. So that's what he's looking at, bro.
The names on this alleged list are truly astonishing, and when we say astonishing, we mean individuals considered untouchable. These revelations are rocking the core of the entertainment industry, and while some of the names remain silent, others are desperately trying to salvage their reputations.
He sent demand letters to these celebs, and he says some have already settled outside of court. But that brings us back to Ray J. His allegations sound a bit more like hush money. He said, quote, "Here's what I do know. People do catch and kills all day. For the regular world, somebody has a truth, somebody pays you to keep it quiet, and hopefully that money you got paid secures your happiness while you watch the lie continue to succeed. Basically, quote, I'll give you money, please don't talk." Ray J didn't mention anyone by name, but said these high-profile people reached out to him because of his friendship with P. Diddy, fearing that their names would be attached to his alleged illegal activity. Most of that revolved around something Diddy called freak-off. Defined by federal prosecutors, they're elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. Along with these freak-offs apparently came a chilling pattern. Diddy or his team would dream of one, sexually assault them, and then sometimes even record it. These recordings proved to be Diddy's downfall, though, because federal prosecutors now say they've got this alleged illegal activity on camera.
The shocking twist came when Young Miami, the rapper from City Girls and one of Diddy's closest public allies, allegedly revealed details that were too damning to overlook.
Gina and Young Miami, they might be the star witness. Whatever she tell those investigators, she better be willing to tell that to the courts. Because you'll be sitting up like Lil' Kim. You get 5 years in jail, you lied to a federal agent.
How you feel about Diddy Shove? I think she got a lawsuit against me.
Oh yeah, I'm not familiar with the case, but I'm familiar with the story. That every time that he would have his guests over and she had to fix them food after they had they sexapade, that Sean would be, Diddy would, Puff, Brother Love would be naked, and she still would have to serve him and watch him. When she bring him his food, he would be naked and shit like that. And she thought that was very inappropriate. That was inappropriate. That was inappropriate, and she felt like she shouldn't have to work under those conditions.
It was Young Miami's cryptic Instagram posts, filled with emojis and ominous captions, that first sparked speculation. Initially, fans believed the posts hinted at relationship drama between her and Diddy, but things took a dramatic turn when screenshots, said to be from a group chat, surfaced online. In these messages, Young Miami allegedly accused Diddy of concealing dark truths involving high-profile figures and minors.
1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm sad. 1 minute I'm feeling like, fuck this shit. And then the next minute, I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, I ain't bring us this far to go backwards.
Yeah.
I work hard. You get what I'm saying? Like, I put in a lot of time and effort in this shit. I did it when I was pregnant alone. And I feel like in life you gotta go through some shit. Like Usher said that and I was like, wow, that's so real.
Yeah.
And I feel like in life everybody is going through something. Whether it's a divorce, whether it's a death, whether it's they just lost their jobs, just anything. And that's what keep me going because I know that like life's not perfect. And we gotta learn from our mistakes and life is a lesson. And I feel like the people that I thought that would be in my corner or that are like, when I was going through this shit, nobody called me. Shit,
The public reaction was swift and intense. Fans pored over every detail of her posts, searching for clues, while tabloids raced to connect the dots, trying to build a timeline that linked her accusations to Diddy's rumored network of secretive deals. Next Voice. With each new revelation, the truth becomes increasingly impossible to ignore. Stay tuned, because the darkness surrounding Diddy is far from over, and what lies ahead is even more disturbing than anyone could have anticipated.